So I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight that made this possible. And it was really a surprise for Senior, and I want to thank everybody for it. Next off, I'd like to thank my two uncles, Jim and Ron, for the fantastic job they did with all the food and all of the dessert and everything. And then I'd like to thank my Aunt Maggie for the facility here tonight and everything, if she's around. So for a few minutes, we're going to kind of go back in time for a little bit. So the year was 1972, and Mom and Dad had been married for a couple of years now, and I was 1 year old. And so anyway, that's when he had bought his first log truck. With no experience even driving or anything, he had a friend teaching, and that's how the business got started. And not only is he celebrating his 60th year for his birthday, we're celebrating 40 years in business. And so throughout that, he's taken a lot of risks and had a lot of insight about everything. And each year that we've been in business up until now, we've never scaled back, never had to lay anybody off. Every year we've grown in a different area, and it's been successful every year, and we hope to continue on that. So I think that because of all he's done, that's where we are today, because of him. So every day we come to work, we need to think about why we have a job there. So anyway, enough said of that. Now it's time for some stories about Senior. And the reason I'm referring to him as Senior is it isn't every day we can all get together to celebrate his 70th birthday party. Oh, sorry, 60th, sorry. And I thought it was a retirement party, but anyway. I got a couple short stories to tell you about him. Okay, now mind you, back in the late 70s and early 80s, there was no child labor laws that were really enforced, because if there would have been, none of us would be here celebrating it now. So the first story is, at that time we had a self-loader and he drove it, and that's when he drove all the time. So in the summertime and in days off, snow or whatever, I'd always go and ride with him. So it didn't matter with Senior whether the job was 10 miles from home or 100 miles from home, he would always get up at 2 in the morning to leave. And I would always ask him, as being very young, why are you getting up at 2 in the morning to go 10 miles? It just didn't make any sense. And he says, and his answer was, he says, I want to be first at the mill to unload in the morning. So then I'd ask him, I'd say, well, hey, can I take a pillow with me at least? I want to sleep. And he would go, no. He says, if you go with me, you're here to, be alert, look at things and everything. I go, oh, Jesus. Well, okay. And being young that I was, I thought this was just normal. So we'd get up in the woods in the morning. He'd be up loading, running the loader and everything, and I'd think, okay, well, I'm going to, be able to sleep in the truck while he's loading at least 15 minutes or a half hour. Oh, no. I would have to be outside. I would be running up and down beside the truck, no vest, no hard hats or nothing, out in the middle of the dark, and I was his helper. I'd throw his wrappers, I'd read his scales and everything, and I thought all this was normal, And I'd be out there when it'd be raining with my gloves, wrapped around the exhaust pipe, keeping warm and stuff. But this was normal, I thought. So anyway, we'd get down to the mill, and he'd, of course, be an hour and a half early before it ever opened. So he'd give me a screwdriver, and he'd say, okay, we'll go out and pick rocks out of the tires, and he'd go to sleep. So this is what I thought was norm at the time. Well, needless to say, it took me many years to figure out the reason why he would never let me take a pillow or go to sleep. It was to keep his ass awake. And it took me quite a few years to figure that out, but I did. one more short story, and I know you guys got probably more funnier ones than me. Back in '89, when the spotted owl hit, we decided that we needed to start getting into something different because it was going to. We figured that it was really going to be bad on the industry. So he got the idea we were going to buy some belly dump trailers to haul asphalt. So he calls this guy up down in Rio Vista, California, which is on the other side of Sacramento. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to fly down, drive over, look at him, come back. Very simple. Oh, no. Money doesn't grow on trees. So 7 o'clock at night, we leave for Rio Vista. So we get to the top of Willamette Pass, which is about 150 miles from here. And Senior's complaining that he's tired and fallen asleep and all of this and that. So I go, okay, I'll drive. I don't have a problem driving. So I figured, okay, when we get to Klamath Falls, he'll spell me off. Well, I get to Klamath Falls, and I'm over there shaking him, and he's going, Jesus, what are you waking me up for? I just got to sleep, and he's been sleeping all the way down. So then I thought, okay, so then I get all the way to almost Redding, California, and I'm seeing 4 lanes on a 2-lane highway. And I keep shaking him, and he's going, Jesus, I just got to sleep. What the hell? So finally, I get to a rest area outside of Redding, California, and I pull into it. I'm not driving any longer. So he goes, okay, fine then. He says, Jesus, I just got to sleep. But before he would drive any longer, I had to take and pump gas out of the barrel that we took with us into the pickup because no Pacific Pride cards, obviously, he told me, didn't exist then. So I'm pumping gas at a rest area into the pickup so he can drive. So we get going, we get to Rio Vista, he does his business, which is about an hour. We get going back. So I'm thinking, man, I'm going to sleep all the way back. So we get back to Weed, California, and the best part of the whole trip is he bought me one of the best dinners ever in Weed, California, and it was at McDonald's. And this was before the dollar menu, so I got a quarter pounder out of the deal. But after that, of course, I had to drive all the way from Weed, California home. So, happy birthday.